Have y'all noticed a change in Coach Bohan from year 1 to year 2?
No, sir.
Nothing that he says that he doesn't say anymore, something that he's added, anything like that?
If anything, he's upped his intensity. He's still a very intense coach, and he gets us motivated.
Trey, season 2 at the helm at QB. What are you looking for this year?
I'm looking for better execution. Last year, I think Coach Bohan might have touched on it, but last year I thought as an offense we were successful just because we played really hard. I think this year we need to still play with that effort and intensity, but if we can execute better with that effort and intensity, we could be dangerous. So I think more execution and just everyone doing their job.
Hey Derrick, the defense seems to be, a lot of people are talking about how much better and improved they're going to be. Do you see that from camp, and how's it going to translate in the season?
Well, we have got a lot better. We are stronger in every position. We have more depth. But going into the season, we want to execute. As Trey just said. Last year we played hard. Everybody ran to the ball. This year is more about execution. We want to know what the man beside you doing, the man in front of you doing. That'll help us out a lot going into the season.
Are y'all, to use the phrase, geeked about playing under the lights for the first time?
Oh yeah. We're all real excited. I know our fans are excited about it as well. Everyone on campus, all the students seem to be real pumped about the first night game, and all the firsts are done, but this is our first night game, so to say we're not excited about it, we'd be lying. So we're ready to go. But again, we have to lock in and focus, because it's our first night game at home, but it's our first game of the 2016 season, and we got a first impression to make, and I think we're ready to play. We've practiced a lot, and like Coach said, if fall camp was long, so we're ready to play.
Could also be excited to know that all the games will be on TV and radio as well.
Yeah, Derrick.
Yeah, that'll be great publicity for us. But still, the main reason is to go out and play and win. It'll be a great rep for Kennesaw State.
Yeah,
get our name out there.
Yeah, it's real good exposure for our whole team, but our school as well. We're on the major radio, on TV, so it's awesome for the school and the community.
How are you a better player now than you were at this point last year?
Well, I hope obviously more games under my belt. Period. College football games. I've spent more time in the film room, and obviously just a whole another year of strength and conditioning. And that goes for our team as a whole. One thing I think that has added to our depth this year is we've had a whole another year of college strength and conditioning, which is it makes a difference in my opinion.
Trey, how is the relationship with you and Justin Sumter? From last year, you guys connected a lot, but this year you had that full year off-season work. How much better will you guys be this year?
Well, I'd like to say we're going to be a whole lot better. Man, I'm real blessed as a quarterback to have 15, to have a receiver like Justin Sumter. Not only is he a physical specimen, and he's got size, speed, hands, everything you want, but and he works his tail off, and a lot of the things that the media and everyone doesn't see is the time we put in during the summer, 7-on-7s, the time we wouldn't just do ourselves, but also Justin working on his own craft. If the work he put in pays off, he's gonna have a great year.
You and Jake McKenzie coming in as quarterbacks, the chemistry in the backfield for spread offense is going to be tight. How has that helped you now he's transitioning to B-back?
Yeah, it's been awesome. He's having a quarterback now at B-back. It definitely helps me. He gives me a hard time sometimes because I'll check a play that he was supposed to get. He gives me a hard time, but he's a hard-nosed runner. One thing I think it adds is not only another great kind of power back for us, but it also adds depth to that B-back position because not only Jake McKenzie, but Micah Reed is going to be a great player as well. But really having Jake from the quarterback to be-back transition, he's being a quarterback. You have to have some grasp of the offense. So just adding another player on the field that has that grasp at the same time is going to help our offense.
And for both you guys, starting with Derrick, how do you fight that complacency? I know you guys mentioned first impression, wanting to start this year off as a different year, but is there maybe a natural, a little bit of a complacency, even if you don't want it, even if you try to fight against it, for a team that you beat by 40 a year ago? I mean, how do you fight that natural feeling of, what we whipped this team last year?
For me, I mean, it's easy, to get that, take it for granted. But then again, you have to think about it. Like, I'm a senior now. This will be my last season ever putting on a college football uniform. So you have to try to come out every day and cherish the moment and try to give everything you got, knowing at the end of the season that it'll be my last time suiting up for Kennesaw State.
Yeah, that's a real good point. I mean, it puts it in perspective for us seniors. We have 10 or 11 seniors on the team this year. This is our last hurrah. But I think going into the complacency, I think the complacency kind of depends on, you got to walk that line of confidence or cockiness. You definitely don't want to be cocky. I think if you are overconfident and become cocky, that kind of comes into the complacency. But one thing that this team is for sure is we're a confident football team. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing, whether that's because we're young, I think you want to go into every game thinking, hey, we're ready to play. We're going to win, but you gotta go through the process, and at the end of the day, it's any given Saturday. Anything can happen. So we're not going to take this team for granted at all.
Did y'all run out of emotional energy last season? Did you just kind of feel it gone about halfway through, like Coach Bohannon was talking about?
The last few games, you can kind of feel like guys we were trying to fight through it, but kind of physically drained, kind of started to kick in.
Same for you?
Yeah, I'll go with this question.
Hey, Derrick, how ready are you to hit somebody else that doesn't wear your colors?
Hey, I'm ready, man. I have to go against the offense every day, tackling Trey. But yeah, I'm ready, man. To come out, fly around, most ball, and just go top off, give everything you got, and put it all on the line for Kennesaw.
How did that affect you? The physically drained and starting to kick in. How did that manifest itself on the field?
I mean, you never want to show it. You want to come out with a positive mindset and just try to fight through it. But I mean, it definitely kicked in, and you just try to trick yourself, psych yourself out, so that you can fight through it.
Does it result in fatigue and just a lack of fundamentals and concentration? Is that the result?
I would say fatigue.
And I think when you're dealing with, especially our team last year, when it started to affect your play, the fatigue, because you could feel it. I think that's when mature teams, better teams, would fight through it and be able to stay locked in and stay focused. But I think one of our issues last year is when that fatigue kicked in, we lost our focus.
Yeah, I think it kind of came from a lack of depth.
Yeah.
So that's why this year we have depth. There will be no drop off. So,
is there an opponent you're looking most forward to playing?
Want to know, man? ETSU.
Want to know every day.
We'll talk.
Going back and talking about your confidence level. I don't know, Coach said that there was a function on Saturday. I don't know if that included you or if that was just the coaching staff, but there was a little football game going on Saturday afternoon for Charleston Southern, North Dakota State. Knowing that you competed well with Charleston Southern, you're the best, supposed to be the best team in your conference, going in playing North Dakota State into overtime, defending national champs. What does that do for your confidence, knowing how well you competed with your conference opponents and seeing them playing the best team in the country? What does that do for you guys going into this year?
I don't know if it's doing anything for us going into the year, especially because, like I said, look, every year is different. not every team is going to be the same, but I think it definitely shows that we have a really good team on our schedule later in the year.
Derrick? Kind of what he said.
Trey, being a quarterback of this type of offense, how do you get your body prepared for the banging and the running and because it's a different offense. Quarterbacks in this offense got to be able to take a pound. And how do you get used to running it and get your body prepared for this type of offense?
Yeah, part of it is I've done it for a while. Maybe that's why I'm so beat up. No, I mean it starts in the off season. You gotta, as Coach Christie says, you gotta build your body armor. We call it trying to become bulletproof. It's all in the preparation. But then once the season starts, it's all about recovery after games. Ice baths, stretching, all that. But at the end of the day, I mean,
it's football.
It's football. Yeah. It's not a contact sport. It's a collision sport.
Yeah.
Going to see Coach Christie as much as possible, trying to get your body ready for the next week.
Last year this time you guys came in as relative unknowns. This year you both have preseason or Big South accolades. Is there any additional pressure going into the season?
I don't think so. Just because I think I try and put a lot of pressure on myself anyway. Just with my duty of quarterback, getting us in the right plays and leadership and things like that. But honestly, the Big South accolades are really nice and awesome. But my main focus is to get the wins, and everything after that, if it falls in place, it falls in place. But I honestly don't really. I think it's awesome, but I don't really pay too much attention to that.
With me, I try not to think about it, try to downplay it, and just take every game one game at a time. At the end of the season, if you put in the work, you have to take care of yourself.
Derrick, with defense being such an emotional, it takes a lot of emotion to play defense. The game is at 7 on Saturday. What are you going to do mentally to just get your mind wrapped around like, 1 o'clock, I should be on the field. I had to wait all the way to 7 o'clock.
Most of all, we'll probably be in the office all day, stand off your feet, trying to, mentally get prepared and, let's say, picture yourself making plays, just kind of chill and get your mind right. Wait for 7 o'clock.
Anything else? All right, fellas, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank y'all.